gateway to bourbon country in Louisville, Kentucky. Welcome to the Firkin podcast, where every drink tells a story. I'm Brian.
I'm Chris. What is going on, Brian?
Chris, today we have a big show. You probably know him from things such as the Hobbit Dwalin, Dougal Mackenzie from the Outlander, it's the Spy Master Dijkstra from the Witcher series, which I was just watching last night, and multiple voice roles in animation and video games, such as one of my favorites, Dante. Dante's Inferno. That's right.
Dante's Inferno.
Yes.
But this guy, there's a lot more to him because he's also taken on a different kind of role as the president of McTavish Spirits.
Oh.
That's right.
Do they make whiskey?
They make whiskey.
Awesome.
So welcome to the show, the one and only Graham McTavish.
Great. Thank you very much.
How are you, sir?
And my friends are applauding from the couch.
Look at
That's
this.
nice.
Yes, we actually have a live studio audience, and Brian, you know that's
right.
one of our favorites because we go off the cuff real fast here.
You love that.
Yes.
I hope you're ready for just weird, Graham.
Weird. I'm hoping weird.
Okay. Good.
That's what
then you
that's
came
what
on
I've
the
been
right
promised.
show.
Yeah. Please.
Looking forward to that.
Now I'm scared. Now I'm actually frightened.
Understood. No. They signed off on it, so this is this.
Oh, then
sorry. Yeah, you can talk to them on the way home.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
Understand.
On the way to the hospital.
That's right.
What's up, Graham? Welcome to Louisville, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think this is my first time into
cool.
Louisville. Yeah, I've been
Right
to Kentucky before, but
Okay.
not your beautiful city here.
It was too much whiskey is why you don't remember if you were here the first
It's
time?
actually it's very possible that's true. Yeah. Sometimes, this trip is already a blur, and I've only been here for a day.
I was going to say, have you even been here 24 hours yet?
No, it's quite intense. When I first met Paul and Connor, my partners in crime who are on the couch, I had no idea actually of the level of drinking that they indulge in. It's, I'm not a choir boy, but these guys take it to another level. So I'm trying to keep up.
That's, you're from the right part of the country to be able to keep up, right?
Yes. Yes. My father introduced me to whiskey at a very early age, and yes, I've been drinking whiskey ever since. So.
Well, I think that's a great segue real fast to go ahead and pour us.
That's right.
What you brought us. Now, this isn't really available yet, right?
No, that's right.
Coming very soon.
It is going to be, yes, very, very soon, very soon. And yes, so please do the honors.
Look at this beautiful
you like the
bottle.
label?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like the label?
Gosh,
That's beautiful.
Yes, designed by my very good friend Emma Quinn in Edinburgh, Scotland. I've known Emma for 30 years, and we asked her to do this. I really wanted to involve my friends actually in this whole new venture. So yeah, we got Emma to do it, and I think she's done an amazing job. It's really exactly what I was hoping for.
And the name of
much.
This is Warchief, right?
The Warchief. The Warchief.
So for our listeners at home who may not know why you named it the Warchief.
Well, yes, I played a character called Dougal Mackenzie in Outlander. And Dougal is the Warchief of Clan Mackenzie. And so, in clan structure, just to bore you with the history stuff, there's the clan chief, he's like the head honcho, the guy. But then there's the guy that organizes the killing. And that was me.
There you go.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, somebody had to do it.
So you do know how to take care of a situation if we have a problem.
Listen,
Okay,
no.
He's learned the way.
Dougal was not shy of murdering people. So,
Wonderful. Glad we invited you over to the house.
Yes, there you go.
That's awesome. So, cheers. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Welcome to Kentucky.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go ahead and try this first real fast. So this is aged 7 years, right? Mm-hmm. And what was the mash bill again? I know we kind of talking about this.
75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. Yes, so it's got a little. It's kind of high. It's a high rye, and it's got a nice sort of little bit of spiciness.
It is a little spicy.
I like that.
Do you do that to get the ladies going?
Well,
It works.
it's modeled on the Warchief, who was very smooth,
spicy
but with a
guy.
little bit of spice.
There you go.
Spicy.
That's right. Yeah,
like that.
So, do you like it?
I think it's fantastic.
Do you? Oh,
like
good.
What a great blend altogether. There's that spiciness that you get.
Yeah.
But it's still very approachable.
It's really balanced. Nice.
Yeah. I'm pathetically proud. Actually,
Yeah, I bet.
am. No, truly, I am very proud of this, and we worked hard to get it to this point, and the kind of thing that we wanted, And I think we've done a great job. So
you guys have done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
And we're going to have this in Kentucky in just a couple weeks. So
yes.
and then you're going to come back to Kentucky eventually, right? And then
I'm going to be coming back,
drink it with everybody
pretty soon. Actually, I think I'm going to be back in October. So
right.
Oh yes. Well, you're not getting rid of me. I'm basically moving in. Chris.
There you go.
That's great.
Yeah.
Come here once.
I would say you could borrow this area, but I'm kind of worried that I won't have any whiskey left.
Yeah, your background is somewhat intimidating.
It's overwhelming.
Completely. I had no idea that you had this level of alcohol in your house.
When we talked earlier, I said you were going to get to pick a pour from this later.
I know. I'm very excited.
I think he was just thinking there was like 8 bottles up there, and that was
not
it.
much.
It was like, I get to pick from 8 things. We're good.
You got a little.
No, it's complete sensory overload. Yeah. But I've picked one. So.
Every bottle up there is just completely different. That's the best part about drinking whiskey, then I think.
It's true. It's true, and it's something that look, I'm an infant. I'm in if bourbon is a sort of mountain range like the Himalayas, I am in the foothills. I am just
You're in the Ohio Valley.
That's right. Right. Yes. Sure. Yes, which is really far away from the Himalayas.
Far away from the Himalayas.
Yeah, you got a ways to go.
It's a little way to go, but learning a lot as well, learning with the help of my friends and learning from people like you and Fred Minnick and all the people that I speak to. And I realize, first of all, that bourbon is this incredible, welcoming community, which I actually had no idea about, which is really, really lovely. People want you to succeed. People want you to make really good whiskey.
That's right.
And hopefully I'm part of that community now and making what I hope is something that people enjoy. But yeah, I'm learning along the way. I really am. And just the tasting notes that I've been learning about and how to do it, how to actually taste properly. I mean, these are things. It's almost embarrassing that I didn't really understand this stuff. I just knew what I liked,
right?
But I couldn't express it.
Yeah. That's the first start of whiskey. It's just knowing what you like.
Yeah, and also the incredible, infinite variety that you get in whiskey and tasting. We plan to do more than this, obviously, with McTavish Spirits. We plan to do different iterations and all the rest of it. But, when we make those choices going down the line, there are almost an infinite number of little forks in the road that you can take with bourbon that will lead you in different directions. And we took a while finding this one. And, it was an exhaustive process that resulted in serious damage to.
I was going to say, a couple passed out nights.
Internal organs were compromised. Yes, but
totally
it was worth it. Yes.
So speaking of, just how, you're new to the brand and things like that, or new to whiskey and spirits of being on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Not just the drinking side of it.
No.
What got you into it? What got you into it? Well, I guess, do you remember your first drink?
Of bourbon.
Yeah, bourbon,
yes.
whiskey.
Yes, I do. The person who gave it to me is sitting on that couch, actually.
All right.
He's,
he gave a nice wave. I saw
That's
it.
Right. It was a nice supportive.
It was a one-finger wave. That was cool.
A supportive wave.
It was number one. Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah,
number one.
Nolan North is the guilty party. And
there you go.
Nolan and I have worked together as actors on, we met on a show called Uncharted, which is a video game that is very popular. And we had a wonderful...
You're very aware of that one.
Yeah,
we had a wonderful time doing it. And he invited me over to his house. And this is the sort of embarrassing part of my entire story with bourbon, is that coming from Scotland and coming from a Scotch whiskey background, I had this naive assumption that bourbon was just a kind of American version of Scotch.
Sure, yeah.
It's just that, this really sort of arrogant view that Scots people have, I think, which is not uncommon.
Scotch is just some rip-off version of bourbon.
Sure. And, and so I brought that ignorance with me to America. And when Nolan said to me, we'd had dinner and we were in his house, and he said, "Hey, do you want to have a bourbon?" And I thought, oh, God, here we go. All right. Yeah, have you got any Scotch? I didn't say that out loud. But anyway, he brought out the bourbon. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but he poured it. And when I tasted it, it was really quite an extraordinary moment. I suddenly thought, I really like this. And then I got guilt. I got I did. No, I
You
felt
feel like you've let everyone down.
no, I felt like I was cheating on
The whole,
Scotland. It was. It
whole
was.
country is let down.
Yeah, the whole country. I've just sort of abandoned them, and I realized, and I suppressed it for a while. Actually,
Sure.
the realization that I prefer bourbon to Scotch, and it's not that I don't like Scotch. I do, but bourbon really captured my heart in that moment, and I tried to deny it for a long time. And then Paul and Connor really just sort of opened the floodgates to me really engaging properly with bourbon. And since then, you know, my learning journey has been extraordinary and continues to be so. But that's how I came into it. And when I was growing up in the UK, in Scotland, and in England, we always looked, well, I did. We looked to America for a lot of things. In terms of my career, in terms of the things I was interested in as an actor, I was doing Shakespeare. I did a lot of Shakespeare, did a lot of classics. And that was, and I enjoyed that. But a little bit like I felt like I was cheating on Scotland with bourbon. When it came to acting, I realized that really what I wanted to do was movies and TV in America. And so I finally gave in to that passion and desire and moved here nearly 20 years ago. And you know, the first job I got here was Rambo, which was the sort of quintessential American movie.
America.
Yeah, and it was like
That just vomits America.
Right? Yes, nice choice of words.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And it was
very
like
true.
the universe had just said, "Yeah, you've made the right decision," and that's why I call this a Scotsman's dream of America. The whiskey, because it really is. It's you know, if you forgive the pun, it's a distillation of that dream, of that desire to come here, and this reflects that professional journey, but just in the shape of something you can drink.
That's excellent.
Well, I think it's great.
Well, thank you very much.
No, it's just got such a great flavor. Honestly, after it opens up a little bit, it's got this like just candied note to it, very sweet note to it. Oh, it just I came back to it now. You know, I think when Paul brought it to me the first time, we just drank it so fast that I didn't let it open up.
Yeah.
But now once you let it open up, man.
Yeah. No, it's
That's
got that.
just-
I mean, it makes me think of, you know, sort of baking spices and sort of cinnamon in there. It's really, you know, with that vanilla though, the vanilla's there.
I'll tell you, and I think it just really fits in perfectly because the temperature is getting a little cooler outside, and it's just kind of just, I don't know.
You can
makes
just
you feel
imagine
good.
being by the fire pit.
Yes.
With this.
Like sitting by the fire.
Yep.
Having somebody else make me something.
And I
Let's do it.
I do associate bourbon and Scotch with communal experiences, like, you know, like I had with my father when I was very young. When we would have dinner, he would get the Scotch out, and so I see these sort of spirits as things that bring people together. I mean, it's perfectly fine to drink it on your own, which, you know, no problem with that at all. I do it all the time. but yeah, to be sitting with friends, you know, in a slightly crisper air in the night, just enjoying, relaxing at the end of the day. Yeah, it's bloody marvelous.
Well, just wait till we get to Thursday. Is that Thursday?
Thursday, yes. I am preparing my liver now.
Yeah, you better.
It's gonna be good.
It's going to be
Warm that thing up.
For everybody who
smashed to
doesn't know, we are talking about Graham is going to come and we are going to unveil this to the public.
That's right.
For the first time.
We are announcing.
We are announcing the whole 9 yards, and we have one of only a handful of bottles even available right now.
That's right.
So we should feel pretty important, Brian.
Heck yeah, man.
We
I
should
do.
feel pretty important.
Yes, good. I'm glad you appreciate
right.
that.
I
Yes,
do.
yes. We've gone to a lot of effort bringing these bottles to you.
Oh, I guarantee that you have.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Oh, I know that you have. There's no doubt about it. You all are some hard workers.
No, well, I give that credit to my colleagues, Paul and Connor, who are incredible hard workers. But yeah.
Let's not give them that much credit.
Okay, they're just lazy,
Yeah.
lazy bums.
Like they'll
Might be
knowing,
close.
They do
knowing,
nothing.
knowing Paul, he's probably already tried to record this and actually stick it up. He said, "Look, he said I was the hardest worker." Like, I told him. So let's talk a little bit about the differences, I guess, between what what scotches that I guess let's talk about what scotches you liked in Scotland. Like, was there brands that you really went to in Scotland?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and you know, my palate changed a little bit, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Every 7 years or so.
I sort of started out like quite a few people, I think, with the peatier whiskies, the Ireland malts. You know, the obvious ones like Lafroig. You know, and I know I was that guy, and I was like, oh yeah, the peat. It's amazing. You can smell it.
It's the most important part.
You can taste it, yes. And it is. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But then I started becoming really keen on Highland Park from the Orkneys. Really like that. But now I got introduced by a barman in Edinburgh who was a master, whatever they call them, people who really know a lot about Scotch whiskey. Well, just drunks, I suppose. Yeah. Well, anyway, he
drunks that have a good vocabulary.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Who can express themselves through their drunkenness.
Through their drunkenness.
And he introduced me to Springbank, which is a Campbellton malt.
Ooh, I don't know if you've ever had that.
No.
It's actually it's not easy to get hold of. There is actually a Springbank Society.
Okay.
In fact, the showrunner of House of the Dragon is a member of the Springbank Whiskey Society. He's a huge Springbank fan. I didn't know that actually until but I'd already got into Springbank. But Campbellton is the smallest. I think it's even smaller than the lowland region of whiskey. So it's just the Kintyre Peninsula, which is Argyll, which is actually where my clan, the McTavish clan, come from. And you know that song, Mull of Kintyre by Paul McCartney. It's all written about that. It's like that finger of land that comes just to the west of Glasgow. And Springbank is one of, I think, only 2 or 3 distilleries in that region. And it's got a really interesting combination of a Highland malt and an island malt. So it's got a little bit of peatiness, but not too much.
Yeah.
And it is really, really delicious.
That sounds much more up my alley. I'm not an overly peated person.
No.
Neither am I, right?
No,
Yeah.
Just,
not anymore. No, I used to be, but not now.
Is that with, like the first type of scotches you were drinking? Were the
peats.
overly peats?
Oh yeah,
that's what got you into.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in fairness, my father never.
It's just an intense flavor.
My father never produced that, but look, when I was growing up, my parents couldn't afford single malt Scotch whiskey, so we had blended whiskey, and it was great. And that's how I got introduced to Scotch at a preposterously young age. I think I was 7 or something like that. He broke it out. And I'm like, Dad, yeah. But he
trying
was
to get you to calm down.
He was.
You need to sleep tonight, Graham. Come on.
He was. Yeah, that's right. Give him some. Come on, just
It'll be all right.
Drink it, and one get it down you. No, he was great, and it really took with me in a way that it didn't really with my brother or sister so much. But
that's because they were like 2 and 3, right?
Yeah.
I don't like us.
That's right. They couldn't speak. They were
just threw it in the bottle.
What are you doing?
That's right.
That's what really happens in Scotland. They just put whiskey in the bottle.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah. They let you. Dip some. Put your finger in some and let them. Yeah. But I was the one that really got into it. So
we
that
call
was
it
the
Grandpa's
beginning.
cough medicine around
That's
here.
right.
That's right.
We actually do.
Come on.
Whiskey and honey.
Take care of it.
Oh, he was a big believer in the hot toddy.
Yep.
My dad.
There you go.
Literally the cure for everything. I've got a bit of a sore throat, that hot toddy. Get one of those. Yeah. I'm just feeling. I don't know my stomach. I'm not sure if I can go to school today. Get out the hot toddy, love. Give it to him. And
my arm's broken.
That's it. Yeah.
A couple of these.
That's right.
He'll never feel it.
You'll be fine. No, and he would religiously make them for me, and I still have really great memories. And actually, weirdly enough, I think this has just occurred to me that there is possibly a connection between that, and this is a dangerous connection to make, perhaps, but with bourbon, because bourbon has that slightly sweeter note than Scotch.
Right.
It may be. Maybe the first thing it reminded me of was that childhood kind of taste of a sweeter whiskey that really, that I associate.
Great point.
that I associate with something
this great
that's
memory that you love.
Yeah, totally. And I literally, until that moment, I hadn't thought of that, but that is
That's
almost certainly true.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been said. Those great childhood when you can like the sense and mind, like connecting all that together.
Well, and it's
great.
the same with with this whiskey, the Warchief. Those baking spices really remind me of when I was a kid in the kitchen with my mother, and she would have not the baked cake, but just the preparation in the bowl,
just everything happening,
just
the batter going.
just getting it, moving it around in the bowl, and me looking at her and her allowing me to taste it and all the rest of it. And I think it reminds me of that as well. And I think there is a very strong association with for me anyway, with that kind of comfort, that sort of warmth, and what we were talking about with friends and all the rest of it, with those kind of memories from a time in your life where you felt very, very secure, you had no worries, and that takes you back there. And that's a nice feeling.
The best time.
yes, that's right. Ever since then, it's just been a road of pain.
Been downhill.
Yeah, and the whiskey numbs it.
Yeah. Yes. So it takes a different approach.
That's why I have so much.
That's right. It's like a pain cabinet.
It's a one big pain wall.
Yeah.
All right, so we are almost done with our first pour.
Yes.
We do have another pour that I have picked for you that we are going to bring out. We're going to take just a quick break so we can, our high technical crew that's behind the cameras here.
Right.
As you see
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, you like all.
Yeah.
It's a really high.
They're very. What's
funded
great about them is
here.
they're very quiet.
They
and
are
not,
quiet.
They're
They are.
unobtrusive.
They're great.
You barely know they're there.
No, you really don't.
Well, it's an enormous studio, so they have a lot of room.
yeah, you can walk around.
I mean,
Really
you really
stretched.
dampen down the echo effect as well because of such a large space.
That's right. Yeah.
It's some really good
pretty
soundproofing.
cool, right?
I mean, we did
Thank
this
you.
just for you. Just think about that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm Brian,
I'm Chris.
and we're the hosts of the Firkin podcast.
The show about everything hosted by Masters of Nothing.
Join us on a booze-infused journey through the stories behind the drinks.
With guests like Chef Amanda Freitag.
One of my doctors recommended having bitters every morning. My doctor's name is Dr. Feelgood.
Dano himself, Dan Oliver.
It's Dan-tastic. Former NBA star turned whiskey blender Russ Smith.
If I can live forever somehow, some way, this is a good way to do it.
And so many more. Find us weekly on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And let's raise a glass to the stories behind the drinks.
Cheers. We are back again because we had to talk to our crew, get them in line.
That's
they're
right. They
good
were
now.
just being a bit boisterous, weren't they?
They were.
That's right.
They actually finally helped out on this last little part, which is kind of nice. Way to go, guys.
The
Way to
crew
go.
pitches in, finally.
Finally.
Jeez.
It took like 15 episodes, but we got there.
Working on this for a long time.
Yeah, we're not good. We're not good managers here.
No, that's not
Let
the
people
important
drink.
part. No, it's get your priorities right.
So we got to go to our next pour, and I just wanted to pick something, and I was just thinking, like, what can I pick just like off of your background, things that you've done. I was just looking at everything, and something just screamed to me due to your past and theater acting and things like that. I just thought
Pick me.
fun pour would be a Midwinter Night's Dram.
Oh, I like
So
it.
thought that was fun. They do everything limited engagement, Act 8, Scene 2. But
nice.
it's gotta love that like speckled bottle.
Oh, that's really cool.
Isn't that
Yeah.
really neat.
But in
I
order
like
to try it, you have to give us a Shakespearean line.
Yes. Oh, deal. We didn't even put that in there, but I like it.
Let me think.
It takes me a second to pour anyway. So you're good.
Night thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. All things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents to their praise do rouse.
Hello. There you go.
We got to do a new podcast just with Graham, just to just read shit.
Yes, that's from the tragedy of Macbeth.
That was unreal.
Thank you.
good. Look at
Well,
you.
thank you, William Shakespeare.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Pretty much nothing to do with
It was
me.
your delivery.
Well, that's very kind of you.
His writing, your delivery.
Well, now this Midsummer. What's it called again?
Midwinter.
Midwinter
Midwinter
Night's Dram.
Yeah, I have done Midsummer Night's Dream twice. I played Oberon, and it's a great play. But this, I feel, is going to be a rather marvelous whiskey.
So this is a blend of straight rye whiskey, and it's finished in French oak barrels.
Oh yes.
And we are fans of rye here.
Love
It's
the
just our
rye.
absolute favorite grain.
Oh, that is really nice.
Isn't that awesome?
Settles
This
around
is
your
the
tongue.
thing. This is what I love.
You guys want to try this over there?
Is there's so much variety.
I mean, I like that he thought about it for a second. He's
There's
like,
so much variety.
yeah.
It's and the subtle changes.
Oh,
You know. Yeah. Wow.
it's beautiful. It's bright. It's even got a little dark finish to it. A little fruitiness.
I love that.
Like just so good.
Yeah. Yes, it's sort of like it's got some sort of winter fruit in there.
Oh
It's,
yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Maybe
I'm beginning to.
little minty.
I'm trying really hard now to let my tongue taste these things properly, and
Right.
not in the way that I have been accustomed to tasting
Yes.
things, which is like an ignorant,
Cowboy.
a simple-minded horse being given a.
Not even the
you know.
cowboy, the horse.
It's like, yeah.
Has anybody ever taught you the Kentucky Chew?
yeah.
Kentucky Chew.
That's right. You need this one in your life.
What's that?
This is it. So one of the things that we do here, it's not supposed to be attractive, by the way. Okay, that's the
Okay,
number.
it sounds like it's not going to be
It's not
attractive.
going to be. It's
Anything
not.
called
yeah.
a Kentucky Chew.
But one of the things that we like to do is like any other bourbon tasting, you smell, you sniff, and we're going to go through and we're going to take just a little sip and then we're going to let it go, or swirl it around. But we're going to kind of chew it and we're going to slap our lips
Oh, this lip slapping?
and chew the whiskey. That is a.
It's interesting because it does make a difference.
Changes it a little bit.
It does. It moves the whiskey around your mouth
It does.
in a way, and actually allows different parts of your mouth and tongue to
hit it on,
to-
all through the cheeks and the tongue and underneath.
Yes, the cheeks,
and the
yeah.
gums and just.
Yeah, and all of that affects how you're perceiving it.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And
this
instead
is
of just drinking it like a horse, now you look like a horse as well. So it's all good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm just trying to imagine how this would go down in like a bar. I'm just.
I mean, a bar,
it's-
you're probably fine, like a little hoity-toity
Yeah,
bar
but-
type
but-
of thing.
but-
They're probably
I mean,
gonna
like,
love. If you're in Kentucky, we get it.
Yeah, but I mean, if there's like 20 to 25 people doing all that at the same time, I mean, it would be.
You
could
just
be-
see them all sitting at the
It
bar.
would just
and they're
be.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I would like to see if you walked into a bar and that's what you saw. Like that's what your experience of Kentucky would be.
We
You
need
walk
to
in the bar.
reproduce. We need to reproduce that.
I think we
do.
should.
Yes,
Right.
we do.
We should do that as like a little, I don't know, like maybe that's your television commercial.
Hey, there you go.
Drink the Warchief. Chew on that.
You know, this might be a great
This
time
is a
to
good
come
time
out
to- yeah,
your
it's
new
a-
slogan.
Or
My
cheap.
new slogan.
What's your new slogan? Don't you know it?
Well, there was a new slogan that was invented by my friend Nolan North, which I have nothing to do with, and that he implied that by drinking the Warchief, it would. Now, let me think if I can get this correct. Rock your dick.
That's correct. Yes, it'll
right.
rock your dick.
That's. Oh, see, Paul's making sure.
Oh, man, he gave it to
hold
the
on.
wrong guy.
Paul's.
Nolan's over here like,
that's-
bro.
no.
I think Paul might have come up with
that's-
it.
Oh dear, they're getting physical on the couch.
They are.
Oh,
God.
No, stop
Hey,
that now.
whoa.
Stop it, guys. Come on, it's a joke.
What's
Let's all
wrong
move
with you
on.
guys over there? Leave him
Wow,
alone.
it's just dear me.
See, that was a smart move,
Jesus.
Paul. Yell out somebody else to make it seem like they're the problem.
Wow. Well, I'm very sorry,
And
Paul.
you've been with this all day long.
Yeah, go on, please. I know. It's just,
And how many more days you got with these guys?
I think it's 3, and that's just on this trip.
Do you guys
There you
need?
go.
Do you need more whiskey before you leave?
No, I don't know if they'll actually let me on the plane. I'll just be sort of the fumes alone, probably.
You're coming from Louisville. You're good. They get it.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Especially after Bourbon and Beyond, they'll get it. That's right.
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
will.
Yeah, but this is very, very tasty. I love
Yeah,
it.
so we kind of paired this to your background, and it was. I'm sorry, what was the college you went to? It was
The where I went to university.
yes.
Queen Mary.
That's
College.
right,
you go,
Queen
yep.
Mary.
Queen Mary College. How interesting you know all that. It's so strange when people know stuff about you that happened like 40 years ago.
That's right.
And you're like, wow, have they been stalking me for years? That was really, that was a very, very formative time of my life, Queen Mary College. Yeah.
Did it formative time, and that's where you started to get into Shakespeare, right? Like the Shakespeare
Yes,
plays?
I did. I was very fortunate. My professor of English, the wonderful Nigel Alexander, another Scot, he's one of the very few people, I would say, that is a genius. He's no longer with us, sadly, but and boy, did he enjoy a drink. Boy, yeah, he did. But he was a genius, and his particular specialty was Shakespeare, and he cast me in every Shakespeare production that was done at that university at the time, and that's really how I learned how to be an actor. Was doing that. I didn't go to drama school, so I didn't do all the sort of formal technical stuff. I picked that up along the way, and but it was him that gave me the opportunity.
Yeah, so I think if I read it, and you can tell me if this is wrong, if I read correctly, that you were doing some like skits and things like that beforehand.
Oh, well, that was at school. Yeah, I was at school, and my best friend at school, Neil Graham, we would do comic sketches, and we just wanted to be writers. That's what I wanted to be, was a writer. And I had no interest in acting at all, none. And we would do these comic sketches because we didn't trust anybody else to do them. And then my drama teacher, or the drama teacher at the school, Des Margetson, would come up and say, look, Graham, why don't you be in the school play? And I'd say, no, I don't want to be in the school play. I really don't. Thanks, Des, but no. And he asked me like 3 or 4 times, and then the 3rd or 4th time, he asked me to do a play called The Rivals, and a guy had dropped out, and there were 3 days to go before the performance, and I would have had to learn the lines. And to this day, I have no idea why I agreed. I mean, honestly, people think I'm making that up, but I don't. I think there was a girl in the cast that I fancied or something.
That's usually how it starts.
I just thought,
There was some girl.
This'll impress her. And I learned the lines in 3 days, and it was a comedy. And I didn't really think anything of it. I just felt, okay, well, we'll do this. It was one performance, and people laughed because it was a comedy, and they laughed. And my character, they liked my character, and then they applauded. And at the end of it, I thought, wow, this is nice.
Wow, yeah, that feels pretty good.
I like this. And then when I left school, I did a year of amateur theatre, and I think I really do have to thank my mother very much, because they just poked a little sort of leaflet through the door in those sort of handwritten way that they used to in the 70s, and it was inviting people to join an amateur company, and they wanted young actors. And I remember walking up to my mother, I can picture it now, and I handed it to her, and I said, do you think I should do this? And she looked at it and she went, yeah, I think you should. And I mean, she could easily have said, why would you want to do that?
Right.
Why don't you just concentrate on doing your studies and blah, blah. But she knew that I was interested, and she was brave enough to encourage me to pursue that. And but that was my mum all over. She was wonderful in that regard. So I have a lot to thank her for.
Yeah, did your family have a background in theater or acting or anything like that?
None at all. My sister did acting at school, and I remember going to see her in a production of, all things, Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky.
Oh, really?
Really nice little bit of light theatre to
really
watch.
Great.
And I would have only been like 7 when I went along to see this. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, Mom. But she was very good. I remember her being very, very good, but she never pursued it. And I think my mother was picked for a school play when she was at school, but no, there was no acting background at all. Certainly not from my father.
Wow. Well, it did wonders, because you came over here and it was gangbusters once you started, right? I mean,
it's funny, but I do think, one of the sort of common themes of my life, which is, I'm sure, something that would resonate with a lot of people, is a lot of things happen by accident, or they seem to happen by accident. And, my lack of thinking ahead has been a great benefit for me. Sure. And no, it's true.
My lack of planning has done well.
It's true. I don't overthink stuff. And it doesn't mean I'm walking around like a simple-minded horse, just sort of going, well, I'll do that. Like with the whiskey, when Paul and Connor spoke to me about it, I love whiskey, and I was really interested in bourbon in particular. And then I thought, they suggested, I thought, yeah, why why not? And my attitude is always, why not?
Yes.
Rather than, what a stupid idea, or what do I know about that? I like learning about things. I'm curious, and I'm interested in the history of bourbon. I'm interested in how it came to be in the United States, and so that really was what sparked it. So yeah,
It's fantastic.
Amazing.
It's just great.
So, what was it like? The Hobbit, right?
Oh.
What was it like working with Peter Jackson? I mean,
yeah. Peter, he's an amazing man. Now that is another one who is genius kind of level. He doesn't do storyboards for his films.
Okay.
So, most directors would storyboard a film, certainly a film as big as The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. But he just carries it all in his head.
that's incredible.
He can see the entire film in his head.
Yeah.
And so he did that with The Hobbit. And the experience of working with him, the thing about Peter is that in the best possible way, and I count myself as one of these sort of people, he is a man, he's a child trapped in a man's body. And I am one too.
Sure, right.
I'm
yeah.
12, really. But,
I can see that.
I masquerade as sort of a grown adult. And
Can't stop yourself from aging.
no,
I guess
no.
this is how we are.
No. But weirdly enough, in my mind, I think I kind of still look 12. But no, clearly I'm delusional. But no, Peter is a child in the best possible sense. And he has a child's imagination and a child's belief that anything can be achieved.
Mm-hmm.
And the obstacles in the way of him, particularly making Lord of the Rings, were huge. I've just narrated a documentary about it, actually, and it's a miracle that those films were ever made. But he also has what is an essential ingredient in any success, which is sheer bloody-mindedness.
Yeah.
He literally doesn't care what anybody else thinks about something. He's making those films for himself. If other people like them, that's great.
That's
And
awesome.
It's the same mindset that Sylvester Stallone has when I worked with him on
Yes,
Rambo
right.
and on Creed. He has that wonderful bloody-mindedness. I am going to make these films. That's how he made Rocky. And it's very inspirational. And so Peter was like that, but just this wonderful nerd. No, I mean, the guy's got the biggest toy box in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Absolutely right.
Literally. He has tanks, like real ones.
That's pretty impressive.
We drove around in one.
Did you really?
In Wellington. That's awesome. We drove around in one. Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
crap.
Yeah. I won't tell you the whole thing, but we went to his place and we were firing machine guns. He has this collection of machine guns in this aircraft hangar, and we fired loads of them, and that was all great fun. And then he said, Peter sort of talks like that. It's a little bit. So, do you fancy going on the tank? Going on the tank? And it's a
I
Panzer.
do fancy doing that.
And it was
exactly what I
like, weird
fancy.
question, Peter, but yeah, I do. And it was a Panzer Mark IV tank
Hell yeah.
that you just have lying around in your hangar. And we were in one of the suburbs of Wellington, a place called Kilburney, and we got in it. I remember I was in the turret. Peter was driving. 2 or 3 other members of the cast, Richard Armitage, Aidan Turner, Luke Evans, they were sort of draped around the tank. And we started driving around in the hangar. And then Peter decided to take it into the car park, which was fine, which was next to a basketball court, an outdoor athletics court. And these 2 guys were shooting hoops. And they were completely oblivious.
There's a tank rolling
as
down
we drove a tank towards them.
Like
Now,
it's normal.
I don't know if you've been around tanks much, but they're really loud.
I really haven't.
Yeah.
They are like exceptionally loud, right?
They don't drive down the street here in Louisville, Kentucky.
And we drove towards these guys, and at the last minute, they turned around, and the barrel of the tank, the gun, was pointing straight at them. And it is truly the only time in my life that I've seen people when their jaws drop open.
They piss themselves at
pretty
the
much.
same time.
Pretty much. And then
They
we
rock
thought
their dick.
we thought, yeah, time to rock your dick. And then
That's probably exactly what Graham said as soon as it all
I
happened.
I just couldn't believe what was happening. And I thought, oh well, that's it. But then he turned out of the car park onto the road, and this was about 9 o'clock at night in a suburb of Wellington, and we're driving around residential streets in a Panzer Mark IV tank. Right, this noise. like this. And we're driving along, and people are obviously coming out of their houses, you know. They're
Trying to figure out what the hell is happening.
What is that? You know,
The Third World War coming to us.
curtains are twitching, people are in their gardens, and I'm in the turret, and I am ashamed, and I apologize to any German listeners about this, but I'm ashamed that as they came out into the garden, I just looked at them and I went, relax, go back to your homes.
God.
You will all be with your family soon.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then the police were called. And we managed to smooth it over.
What are you gonna do, Kappa? I gotta take.
That's right. Yeah, you'll never take me alive. No, the police were called. Peter got very embarrassed. Somebody had to explain.
How do you even like
It's
deal
very
with that
difficult to
situation?
explain.
The cops come
There's
up and
no
there's a tank.
reasonable explanation for why a tank should be driving around a residential street. But that's what life is
can't
like
think
for
of
Peter
one.
Jackson.
Well, that's You come out. You're like, I'm an actor. Huh? Come on, I was acting. Come on.
Yes,
What?
we're rehearsing.
Did you get to wear the helmet?
I didn't. Actually, thinking about it, that would have been great.
That would have been amazing.
That's right.
That would maybe the hat.
That would have been the next level.
This is very beautiful.
So that's Peter Jackson. That's the Hobbit.
I love it. Go on, Peter.
That was a great story.
He's a great person to hang out with. Oh yeah, he's
Well,
amazing.
I mean, it sounds like he's phenomenal to hang out with if you're driving tanks. Does he still drive tanks on residential streets? Is this a normal thing?
He has everything.
Does he have helicopters?
He has the entire Baron von Richthofen's flying circus from the First World War.
Shit.
Exact replicas, flying replicas.
Really?
Yeah, he has a factory
Damn.
that makes First World War biplanes in Wellington.
Wow.
That we visited. Yeah. Oh no, you go and visit him. I mean, he has a full-sized railroad in his country house. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does have a massive toy box.
Oh, it's off the charts. Whatever you think might be his toy box. I do remember I once, and I promise this will be the last Peter Jackson story, but I once went to visit him when he was when he was editing The Hobbit, and I was going there for lunch, and I walked in, and he went, "Oh, Graham, we're gonna have some lunch. Do you want some lunch?" And I went, "Yeah, that would be great, Peter." And we were in this strange building that was really nondescript on the outside. You would never know it was where they were editing The Hobbit. And anyway, we walked down this corridor that's lined with original James Bond posters. Right?
Yeah.
Really, really impressive. And then we turn into what appears to be like literally a broom cupboard. And we go in there and he goes, "Yeah, follow me. and we're standing in a broom
And if
cupboard.
Peter Jackson says, "Follow me,"
Oh yeah, no.
do it. Follow.
Oh yeah, and we're standing in a broom cupboard, and then he just goes, "Watch this," and then he presses this button, and the wall just moves to one side, and beyond it is literally like a Victorian gentleman's club that he has had built. That's this giant room with all sorts of paraphernalia from movies, and and I said to him, if I had this room, I would never leave it.
Just sit here.
And he just sits in there and has his lunch, and I'm like, I said, your life is amazing. And he went, "No, that's good. Yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah." And I'm like, you have no idea, do you?
You just don't get it.
No.
You don't get it at all.
Yeah, he has a very particular...
It's glad that you appreciate it, though.
Oh, I really appreciate
bet.
it. I really did. So, yeah, anyway.
Maybe next time we'll take you to the next broom closet, which leads to the Bat Cave.
If anybody... Oh, well, okay, just to finish the tank story, by the way, the thing beyond the tank story was after the police had gone, he has the original Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, no way.
Yes, he'd had it completely restored.
Absolutely.
Right. And with the wings and everything like that.
Moving
and he
and everything.
drove us to the airport in it.
In the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang
In
car?
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang while playing the music from it, from a little mini iPod. We're driving along.
What is
in
this
Chitty
life?
Chitty Bang. I know it's
Yeah.
I do have to remind
fever
myself
dream you
that
were
this actually happened. But I promise you, yeah. Oh, he's got the Bond car from Goldfinger. Yeah, he's got that. He's got, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, I know.
Look
It's
at this
wonderful.
guy.
I love that about him, though.
Yeah,
I
I bet.
love that.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's like awesome. So before we go to our last
Yes.
segment,
Yes.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have, out of your body of work, your career of work, is there anything that stands out to you as one of your favorite things that you've ever done? Could be like enjoying it on set, or you enjoyed the role. Is there just anything that always stands out? And you're like, gosh, I really loved that. I mean, it could be a commercial, a voiceover.
Oh, I mean, listen, I've been very fortunate. Very lucky.
You have an amazing body.
And I mean, I've done lots of things that I've, had to pinch myself when they were happening. The Hobbit obviously being one of them, and all the rest of it. But definitely, doing Rambo with Stallone was a surreal experience because obviously I'd grown up watching those movies, and and this was one of the great action stars of the 20th century. And to be working with him, and he was so generous in terms of, screen time, and he was really into improvisation, which I was really surprised about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Do you like improv? And I'm like, yeah, I do, yeah. He goes, great, we're going to improvise a lot. I remember there was a moment, and this is a particularly wonderful moment that I've always remembered. We were doing a scene, and if you've seen the film, it's when we're getting off this boat, and he's following us, and I call him the boatman, and I'm sort of shouting abuse at him and all the rest, and he walks off the boat after me. And we kept doing the scene, and because he just wanted me to improvise, so I would just come out with more lines and go, I love this, it's great, let's keep doing it. and I'm going backwards and forwards, and I promise you that suddenly there was a moment where I was looking at him, and I realized part of my brain went, you are talking to Rambo.
That's right.
You're talking to him, and he's talking back to you. And so it was like I'd stepped into a film, like an audience member that had stepped through, like that moment in Last Action Hero when Schwarzenegger comes out.
Right.
It was exactly that. So I was very aware, so I was still able to function and act and do what I was doing, but it was like a third eye that was observing me going, holy shit, you're fucking talking to Rambo.
Yeah.
And
not even Sylvester Stallone, fucking Rambo.
That's right. And it was like it just hit me that this was happening, and then it passed, but I've never forgotten it. So that was a really special.
And that was your first real big role in America, right?
In America, yeah. That was my very first job. I got it 7 days after I landed.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And yeah.
To look back, like growing up on Rambo and watching Rambo,
even just getting the audition, I was like, what?
No kidding.
Oh my God!
I just even get to read.
Yeah, and he was so great to work with, and same on Creed. Wonderful. I have nothing but praise for him as a man and as an actor.
Oh, those are incredible movies.
Oh yeah,
Creed was great. All of the Rambo and the boxing and Rocky Balboa, and I mean, just like you said, I mean, Sylvester
an extraordinary man,
just,
a driven individual. Nobody works harder on a set than he does. Right. I mean, he was doing everybody's job, and just often better than they were doing it. So awesome. He was inspiring. Yeah.
Unreal.
Go on, Sly.
Well, that's a great way to end this segment. We got one last segment, Brian.
That's right, we do.
And this you get to pick for us.
Good.
So I hope you have a good pick.
That's right, I do.
I have a really good pick.
All right, we're going to take another quick break. We're going to make... Paul didn't even hear that last part. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be back. We're going to fill everybody up.
Be right back. Hey, listener, thanks for tuning in. I just want to jump in here real quick and remind you to go check out our website at firkinpodcast.com and make sure that you subscribe on your podcast platform, whether it be Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and rate and review us. It just helps us kind of get the algorithm going and get out there to more listeners. And please share us with a friend. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, I'm sure you have a friend that's going to enjoy it just the same, and we'd like you to share that along. So thanks for listening, and we'll get back to the episode. We are back with Graham McTavish. Hey, buddy.
You only have one last pour to do with this. I'm sorry.
I'm fine. Just continue.
I got you this. Now,
yes,
you picked this one.
I did, because I've heard a lot about Pappy Van Winkle, and I've never had it. And this is the 15.
This is Pappy 15.
That's right.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know if everybody would agree, but out of the line, to me, this is the best of the line without going to the rye. This is the best of the line. So
wow.
cheers again. Thank you,
Cheers.
sir, for
Cheers.
coming to
Cheers.
spend
Pleasure.
the time with us. And
Absolutely. It's been-
I'm sorry that you have to hang out with these three guys.
yeah, I know. Oh, listen.
Oh, is that the new wave? What's going on, man?
Interesting.
The one finger wave.
So that's the brand new here.
Oh, yeah.
How do you like that?
That's nice.
Yeah. It's very complex there.
It is, isn't it?
So what do you think? Your first time having Pappy. I mean, this is a lore bottle. You know, this is the folklore of
That's right.
It feels
folklore of whiskey minus going into, you know, old dusty bottles, things like that.
it feels a little bit lighter as well on the in the mouth. Just it just sort of flows very, very easily over your palate.
Yeah.
It's a well blend of oak in this one. That's why, to me, like when you get into the older Pappies and things like that, like the 20 and 23, they're just oak bombs. They're just so much wood, and I'm not into that much wood, boys. Just not into it.
Yeah.
Don't like that much wood.
Like to taste the whiskey, not the wood.
Yeah,
All right.
that's the whiskey, not the wood. What'd you say over there, Paul?
Don't give that much wood either.
Thanks. Wow. Probably true. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Thanks. I got to drink a little bit more. Thanks, Paul, for making me come to grips
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
just sad right there.
Cheers.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Got mine back.
it's really and it lingers there in the back of the throat. I find
You can see why it's a phenomenal whiskey. It's 107 proof.
Yeah.
well, which actually that surprises me because it doesn't feel like
Right.
Very
Yeah.
light, right?
it is.
Very,
yeah,
very
it
light.
really. I'm surprised when you say
approachable.
that.
And that's why, I mean, it's a
That'll
great whiskey.
sneak up on you.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah. There you go.
You can do damage on this.
It'll say hello later.
Yeah, it will. And you've been on a Kentucky tour today, so it's all going to say hello later.
I mean, my God.
Get a long weekend in store there, Grant.
It's, yeah, they didn't really warn me fully about the sheer volume of drink that would be
See, they're
consumed.
not even like phased. They're like, oh, this is a normal day.
No, yeah, they feel nothing.
17 pours in the last hour. We're good.
When we did the research and development for the McTavish Warchief, they were we did it over an extended period of time, and they seemed to suffer no ill effects at all. I mean, I was.
Like, how do you do it?
Did you ask, like, are you even drinking it, guys? Or are you just telling me?
I was struggling, but we found that reasonably early on. I remember Paul turning to me, and we had the little sample bottles, and he drank that, and he went, "Oh yeah, you should try this. I think this is great."
And were you like, I can't try anymore?
I can't. My lips are numb. I can't speak. No, it
Paul's
was.
talking completely normal level.
Yeah, no, totally fine. Totally fine.
No issues.
Yes, doing algebra kind of stuff.
Doing algebra.
just to annoy me. No, so it was the clear winner when we were doing the R&D, but it came at a price for me.
Absolutely.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
So this
get it.
being a 15 year, I think it's good to springboard this with a question about just what you see as the future here of McTavish Spirits in the next few years.
I mean, well, look, we have big plans, and that's something I really want to emphasize because I'm nervous about this sort of that word of celebrity and all that sort of thing, which literally makes me wince inside. It does, and I really want to try and park that away somewhere else in the distance because I'm very committed to making this work, and I'm really interested in developing it and learning through it and getting to know the community more. And we have big ideas and big plans, big iterations that we want to, new expressions that we want to do. And the process of discovering what they're going to be is going to be part of the fun for me. And, I'm not going to be the face of this. I want to be the person that's passionately involved in it, just like these guys are. So that's how I want it. I want to be perceived by anybody drinking it. that this isn't like some passing fad for me. I'm really into it. So
Nice.
I truly believe that from the very beginning when I first met with them and talked about this whiskey, and you could see that we've had that conversation before. There's a lot of those and I know you don't like that word, that celebrity brand of not only whiskeys but all different types.
Yeah, loads of
and there's
them.
a lot of people who that can sign a label and go.
Sure.
And I mean, you flew all the way here to Kentucky to come in and talk about this and get up on stage in a couple of days and talk to it about tons of people and go everywhere. It's wonderful.
And listen, I mean, I really enjoy it. It's not like this isn't a chore. I really enjoy doing it and learning and talking about it and, talking to Fred and talking to you guys. By the end of this week, my understanding and knowledge will have increased exponentially, and that's what I'm interested in. I'm by nature a curious person. I like learning about stuff that
Always
I don't know. Kind of, yeah. I mean, I just like all the things that I've really. There are the things that I do which are just. I'm a professional, so I do, jobs that I enjoy, but they're jobs. And then there are things that I do because I'm passionately interested in. So, writing, doing a play about Vincent van Gogh back in the 80s, producing a play, all of these things, doing Men in Kilts, whatever it is. But this is one of those. So this is going to take up a good amount of my time, and I'm really pleased about that.
That's awesome.
That's just great. Now, I will say I think this is a perfect time.
Well, yeah, 100%. What are you talking about?
If you know our show at all, we always like to finish with something fun. A little game of some type. I don't know. We just always like to come up with something.
That's right, we do.
We don't know if it's ever going to work or not.
Oh, God.
We find that out once we start asking you questions.
I'm already feeling nervous.
Well, as you should. This is why we told you to take your pants off when we started there, Graham.
because it helps.
Yeah, it really helps
when the pants are off.
Yeah, it really helps come to
Get this thing
comfort
done.
and grips of what's happening here.
Okay.
All right.
Break
Brian,
it to me.
explain what we came up with today for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so earlier in our season, we came up with a list of Kentuckyisms for our guests.
Wow,
And,
okay.
us being from Kentucky, we all understood those, but I knew, Scottish, I don't know these slang terms, but I was looking at some of them earlier just to see if I could kind of get down with, the Graham McTavish way of
with the
speaking.
Scots.
Yeah.
right.
We want to know
That's
if
right.
we go to Scotland, what can we say?
I got some slang terms. I just want to push over on you. Let's see if I say
will
this
we fit
right.
in if we say this stuff right?
Scottish ones. Yeah, go for it.
Just
Go
for
for
you.
it.
You
This
tell us
is
if
going to
it-
be interesting. Yeah.
What the hell does dinner fash mean?
Dinner fash.
Dinner fash.
Just
There
fash.
it is.
It just means don't worry.
Dinner fash.
Don't worry.
okay.
Just relax.
Dinner fash.
Dinner
All
fash.
right.
Fine,
All
don't
right, I
worry.
like it.
Dinner fash.
Dinner fash.
Dinner
I'm
fash.
going to start saying that.
I love this one because I know what this one means. You're off your head.
Off your head. You're off your head. You're off your head.
He says it
You're off
so
your
much
head.
better.
Yeah, well, you're either drunk beyond words, or you're an idiot. So, or both.
Could you be both? Yeah, that's what I
You
was
could be
gonna ask.
both. You could be a
both.
drunken idiot.
Try it, Chris.
You're off your head.
What is it? How do I say it?
Off your
Off ya.
head.
Off your head.
Off your
Heed.
Off your
Heed.
head. Off your head.
Yeah, imagine it's spelled H-E-I-D, which is how it is
I can
spelled.
barely spell anyway, so that's going to already have your problem.
Off your head.
Off your head.
That's
it, very good.
There
see
you
that?
go. I like it.
So if you yell it angrily, does it make you feel more Scottish?
Well, I'd just be careful where you yelled it really angrily in Scotland. Just don't walk into a bar and just start bellowing that at
Oh, okay.
people.
Well,
You're off your
You're
head.
off your head.
Will they
then
think
we-
I'm drunk, stupid?
They'll just punch you.
See, this
Got
is
it.
good because we're really trying to help our U.S. listeners just feel more comfortable.
No, this is good. This is
good.
good. I'm happy to help.
Old Ricky.
Old Ricky.
Old Ricky.
Old Ricky is the term for Edinburgh.
Oh,
so
okay.
Old Ricky means may your lum always reek means may your chimney always be be going.
Look at this one.
Which shows that you're warm and you've got fuel and that you're safe and all the rest of it. And so Aldriki is the old name for Edinburgh because of the sheer number of chimneys.
Dig it.
There. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
See, look
History
at this.
lessons.
History education.
lessons.
Look what we do here.
Drukit.
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 Drukit is, it's sort of, that's more kind of, if you're Drukit, it's, you're not the full shilling.
Okay.
If that means you're not quite all there. So you're
like
picking lots of expressions that basically question somebody's, ability to think.
Look who pulled them.
Yeah, that's right. Drukit.
He pulled them. That's
Drukit.
fine. I wasn't pointing to you that time, Paul. And I'm sorry that you thought. I'm sorry that you thought that that's what it was.
Not to be confused with Drich. Oh. Drich is when Drich is like when the weather is just, it's kind of a bit shit.
Okay.
But it's not like pouring with rain. It's just you look outside and you go, oh, that's a wee bit Drich. It's not
I'm
inviting.
just going to sit at home and have another whiskey.
Yeah.
I love these words. Hold your wished.
Hold your wished.
Hold your
wished. Shut your mouth. Yeah, shut up.
Hold your wished.
Shut up, you idiot.
I like it.
Just you saying it like that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to
Hold
stop.
your wished.
That's pretty good. Tatty bogle.
Oh, do you know?
What the hell is a tatty bogle?
I think you've stumped me there. A tatty is a potato.
Tatty bogle?
Tatty bogle. It will be, I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I suspect it is a form of insult. Yeah. So you're basically comparing somebody in some way to a potato.
All right, great. Tatty bogle.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. There is something about them that reminds you of a potato.
Give me a couple I left off.
Okay.
Give me a couple of really good
One of my
ones here.
favorites is Hookmagandi.
Hookmagandi.
Which basically means sex.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm off for a wee bit of Hookmagandi.
Hookmagandi.
Hookmagandi, yeah.
All right.
That's it. Yeah. Hookmagandi and your breeks. Drop your breeks means take your trousers off.
Okay.
So which can be
that's what we should have said before we
linked to
started.
Hookmagandi.
Yeah.
So if you say if you were a female. Not with a voice like mine, which would be really terrifying.
Would be
but it would be
very
drop
terrifying.
your breeks. It's time for a bit of Hookmagandi.
I love it.
Yes, then you'd know you were in trouble.
That's right.
No shit, I'm running the other way.
That's right. If a voice like that came out of the dark, you would just say,
I would be fucking
"No
terrified.
thanks. I'll just go back to prison and take my chances." Yeah.
It's interesting to call them breeks because we call them breeches.
Well, it's the
Drop your
same
breeches.
derivation.
Yeah,
it's the
there you
same
go.
derivation.
There you
Yeah,
go. I
exactly.
like
And
it.
there's a lot of Scots expressions that will have come over here actually. And
Yeah, absolutely,
been
because the Scottish,
translated,
the Scottish immigrants that were here for a long
absolutely.
time ago.
But yeah, Hookmagandi is one of my favorites.
Hookmagandi.
Yeah, and shoot the craw. Shoot the craw means leave, time to go.
Okay.
Let's shoot the craw.
Shoot the
You're
crawl.
you're walking out of the building.
All right.
Time
Yeah.
to go.
I like that.
See, I would have misinterpreted what they were saying. I would have think they were meant like stick around and talk to me for a little bit, but they're like,
No,
I'm
it's
out of
like,
here.
Get the fuck out. We're
Time
done
to
with you.
get out.
It's time to get out.
Get out. You're no welcome anymore. Yeah.
Well, I think our audience really thanks you for explaining some of those. It's
my pleasure.
Yeah, so now I think we're fully ready to go over and blend in.
That's right.
You would be indistinguishable. From a native
Fantastic.
Scot.
That's what we're hoping for.
That's
Will
right.
you hang out with us?
I will at a distance.
Makes sense.
I'll be observing from a distance.
probably what you're going to do while you're here.
I'll be filming as well, just for evidence.
Yeah, I'm going to be walking
good.
around calling people Tatty Bogle, and he's going to be like,
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Or you,
I'm not going with you.
Numpty is a good one as well. If you
Numpty.
call somebody a numpty, that's an idiot as
All
well.
right.
There's so many things that you can call people that relate to their idiocy.
I feel that if we go over there and hang out, he's going to tell us one of these and tell us to go in there and
Yeah, just
yell
go
it.
over
go
there
in there
and
and
just
yell
say-
it in that bar.
It's a real compliment to call somebody a numpty.
They love it.
Yeah, that's
They
right.
really love it. Graham, thank you so much for coming and
My pleasure.
hanging with us.
My pleasure.
Where can, other than the great line of McTavish Spirits that's going to be coming out soon, the Warchief coming out in a few
it
weeks.
is. Very, very soon.
Where else can our listeners find you? What do we got new? Anything?
Me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I've got. I've did some of a show called Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh,
which
nice.
is a really great Netflix show that I did. That is very exciting. What else can they see me in?
Men in Kilts is,
there's
right
Men in-
now?
Yeah, Men in Kilts has been out. But the people can still watch it. Obviously, there are seasons of The Witcher that I've done, House of the Dragon. There's a movie that I did last year in Montana called Somewhere in Montana, which is coming out next year. What else? We've got our book coming out, Clanlands, which will be out later this year.
Do you sleep?
I don't sleep.
That's like
for
a lot of projects.
That's for weaklings, Chris.
That's right.
No, yeah. So there's a lot. I try and keep busy. So a few things that I can't talk about, but yeah, that I'm working on.
Well, we can't wait. And we can find you, Graham McTavish, on Instagram, right?
At Graham McTavish, all one word, on Instagram and on Twitter, now known as X.
That's right.
Find me on X. I don't
And
know what
then
you're talking
McTavish
about.
Spirits is also on there as well.
At McTavish Spirits, that's correct. That is the official site to discover everything spirity and McTavishy.
Very nice.
And we already heard they got more stuff coming, great stuff, and we can't wait. And then you and I will see each other in just a couple days.
Yes, we
live
will.
at Bourbon and Beyond.
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Graham, thank you again for joining us.
My
We
pleasure.
truly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Brian, close it out, man.
All right. Thanks, Graham. Thanks to the listeners for tuning in. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/@Firkin Podcast. Questions or comments can be sent to mailbag@FirkinPodcast.com. Visit our Patreon to become a Firker at patreon.com/Firkin Podcast. Subscribe and rate us on your podcast platform of choice, and make sure to share it with a friend. And until next time, let's raise a glass to the stories behind the drinks. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.